What would you do if someone tried to steal your dog with a fake warrant and a smirk? That's the nightmare we walked into when we moved to Willow Creek Estates, thinking we'd found a quiet slice of suburbia. Instead, we got a war. My wife, Sarah, a SWAT commander with a spine of steel, didn't just fight back, she crushed them. This is the story of how we took down a tyrant, saved our K9, and turned a neighborhood into a family. Buckle up, because it's a wild ride. The MOVYing truck was still coughing dust when I spotted her, Eleanor Shaw, the HOA president, standing across the street like a hawk eyeing a mouse. No wave, no smile, just a stare that could have cracked pavement. Sarah nudged me, her voice low. "That's our welcome wagon, Mike." I chuckled, scratching behind our K9 Duke's ears as he lounged on the porch, tail thumping. We'd faced war zones and red tape nightmares. How bad could one nosy neighbor be? Bad. Real bad. Eleanor strutted over, heels clicking like warning shots. "You must be the Carters," she said, her voice syrupy but sharp, eyes flicking to Duke like he was a grenade. "Bold choice of pet." Sarah's jaw tightened. I stepped in front of Duke. "We value loyalty over looks," I said, not offering a handshake. Eleanor's smile was all teeth. "Willow Creek prides itself on order," she said, handing us a folder stuffed with rules, violations highlighted in neon. "We expect cooperation." Her gaze lingered on our unpacked boxes, our slightly dented pickup. She turned and sauntered off, Leah vying a sour tang in the air. "This isn't a neighborhood," I muttered, crushing the folder. "It's a battlefield." Sarah's eyes glinted. "Good. We know battles." Trouble didn't wait. 2 days in, a red envelope hit our doorstep. HOA fine, due $75 for grass exceeding permitted height. The sod was laid yesterday. It hadn't even rooted. Sarah stared at the notice, her knuckles white. "This isn't about grass," she said. "It's about breaking us." The next day, another envelope, Duke, cited for excessive noise. Duke, who naps 90 fan tram of the day, barked once at the delivery guy. I tore the paper in half. "I don't negotiate with bullies." Eleanor escalated. Saturday morning, Sarah caught her sneaking across our driveway, snapping photos of Duke like a tabloid vulture. "How vying fun, Eleanor?" Sarah called, voice sharp. Eleanor flinched but recovered. "Documenting the violations," she sniffed. "Animal control will re-VYEW these." Sarah stepped closer. "Bring a real warrant next time." Eleanor's face flushed, but she held her ground. "You're new," she hissed. "Rules apply to everyone." Sarah didn't blink. "So does the law, and I know who to call when you cross it." Eleanor stormed off, heels stabbing the asphalt. By week's end, the pattern was clear: daily fines, cold stares, petty power plays. But Sarah cracked the code over coffee one morning, zoning maps spread across the kitchen table. "Look," she said, pointing. "A development project, Willow Creek expansion slated to bulldoze our backyard, our home." "They don't care about Duke," she said, voice low. "They want the land clear." Rage burned in my chest. "Eleanor doesn't want neighbors," I said. "She wants profit." That night, a yellow notice pinned to our door demanded Duke's removal within 72 hours, calling him a public safety risk. Duke wagged his tail, oblivious. Sarah ripped the notice down and marched to Eleanor's house, vying it into her chest. "Want my dog? Come get him yourself." Eleanor's smile wavered. "Reconsider your tone," she hissed. Sarah leaned in. "I've got procedures too, and mine don't involve paperwork." Eleanor paled. Sarah strode back, jaw set. "They picked the wrong fight," she said. I rested my hand on Duke's head. "Let's show them what losing feels like." The knock came at midnight, 3 sharp raps. Duke growled, hackles up. Sarah signaled me to stay quiet and peered through the peephole. 2 men in sheriff uniforms, badges gleaming. At first glance, legit. But Sarah's trained eye caught the fakes: shiny badges, nowhere, radios, outdated, boots, regulation but laced wrong. She cracked the door, voice trembling with fake fear. Can I help you? The taller one flashed a document. Sheriff's Department. Court order to remove a dangerous animal. Sarah scanned the paper. Fake seal, misspelled county, no watermark. Sloppy. I don't understand, she stammered, backing away. Duke's just our dog. Please don't hurt him. The shorter man smirked, rattling the latch. Open up, ma'am. Don't make this hard. Sarah's hand shook on the lock, but her pulse stayed steady, muscles coiled. She slid the chain loose, letting the door creak wider. The tall one stepped forward, smug. Big mistake. The second his boot crossed the threshold, Sarah exploded. She grabbed his wrist, yanked him off balance, and flipped him over her shoulder, slamming him onto the porch with a crack. He gasped, winded. The second guy froze. Sarah didn't. She spun, planting a sidekick into his temple. He crumpled, eyes rolling back, fake badge skittering across the wood. Duke barked once, a triumphant blast. Sarah moved like a machine, flexed cuffs from her belt, binding the first guy's wrists tight, then the second as he groaned. She pulled her phone, recording every detail, the fake badges, the forged warrant torn beside them. You think you're predators, she whispered, camera close to the tall one's bruised face. You're prey. Sirens wailed, real ones closing in. Sarah stood over them, ice in her veins. You're lucky I'm feeling merciful, she said, kicking a badge back. Don't move, or it's more broken bones. Real deputies swarmed, cuffing the imposters. Sarah pointed at the mess. They're yours. She walked inside, Duke at her heels, and locked eyes with me. This was a declaration, she said. I nodded. They don't know what war is. By dawn, Sarah had a war room on our dining table, forged warrants, financial records tying Eleanor to a shady construction firm, and footage of her goon's takedown. She dialed allies Paul Reed, a law professor down the street, and Linda Hayes, the HOA's nervous secretary. Both agreed to meet. At Paul's deck, hidden by hedges, Sarah laid it out. Eleanor's terrorizing this neighborhood, she said, tossing down redacted HOA budgets. She's funneling money to her brother-in-law's firm for a development that'll flatten half this street. Paul's face darkened. Linda clutched her coffee. They'll come for you next, Sarah said. Your homes, your gardens, your kids' swings. Paul slammed the table. Enough. Let's end her. That night, we stuffed mailboxes with flyers anonymous, brutal truth about Eleanor's crimes, fake cops, and buried violations. Duke padded beside us, a silent guard. Eleanor wanted war. We'd give her one. The emergency HOA meeting was a powder keg. Neighbors packed the community center, buzzing with rage from our flyers. Eleanor swept in, red suit screaming power, flanked by her loyal board. She tapped the mic. We're here to address disruptive residents, she purred. Sarah stepped forward, voice cutting through. The only disruption is you. Eleanor faltered. File your grievances properly, she snapped. Sarah laughed, cold and sharp. Paperwork won't save you. You sent fake cops. Forged warrants. Tried to steal my dog. Gasps erupted. Sarah cast her phone to a projector Paul had rigged. The room froze as footage played, fake sheriffs, Sarah's takedown, their confessions. Then, financial reports forgery, embezzlement, conspiracy. Neighbors snatched copies, fury spreading. Eleanor's face burned crimson. Baseless lies, she sputtered. Paul stood. I moved to suspend Eleanor Shaw pending investigation. Linda seconded. Hands shot up, a landslide vote. Eleanor staggered, but deputies were already at the door, cuffs ready. Duke barked once, final. Her reign was done. 3 days later, Willow Creek breathed free. Neighbors smiled, kids biked, tension gone. Under an ancient oak, we gathered chairs, banners, a plaque for Duke. Paul spoke. To Duke, our guardian, who showed us courage. Applause roared. Sarah took the mic. We won because we refused to bow. Because we protected what mattered. Because you chose courage. The crowd stood, cheering. Kids draped yarn medals on Duke, who sat proud. I nudged Sarah. Regret it? She watched the laughing crowd, then Duke, steady as ever. No, she said. The things worth fighting for come with scars, but they're worth every battle. We raised glass to resilience, to standing ground, to never bowing to bullies. As stars lit the sky, Sarah knelt by Duke. You didn't just guard a house, she whispered. You guarded our future. His tail thumped, solid and sure. This wasn't just about SAVYing Duke or exposing Eleanor. It was about standing when it's easier to sit, fighting when fear screams run. Real strength isn't in titles or threats, it's in defending your home, your truth. Eleanor's power, built on fear, crumbled. Our community, forged in courage, stood tall. Courage spreads like wildfire. When you stand, others rise. So, if someone threatened what you love, would you back down or fight like hell? I know what we did. We fought. And we'd do it again.